We're going to look at how to calculate slope using 2 points. Now I'm going to do a little visual off to the right so we can kind of get some background as to why we're calculating it the way we are, and then I'm going to show you how to use the formula to calculate it. So let me draw the picture. So if we take a look at this grid, and I'm going to plot the points, and eventually we'll do it with the formula so we don't have to plot the points, but this is the background for it. I have to plot a point at 1, -2, which would be right here, and at -2, 4, which would be up here, and we want to find the slope of that line. So let's draw that line in. And again, we could just calculate the slope by counting the grid now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down. So my rise would be 6 down. So my slope would equal -6 for the rise over, and again I did 6 down and 1, 2, 3 to the right. So that would be over 3, which would equal -2 overall. Now the hope is that we don't have to go and do this with a graph each time. So if we take a look, this spot right here was 1, and this x value here was -2. We can see that we got our run from the difference in those two x values. So on the graph, here's my run. And I can get that 3 units right here by going 1 minus -2, which would give me my 3. And if I look at my rise, we spanned from -2 down here all the way up to 4 up here, which gave me the 6 units here. And again, I can get those by subtracting these two numbers. So if you look, we have our x values that we had to subtract for our run and our y values that we had to subtract for our rise. So that gives us our formula for slope, which is equal to y2 minus y1. So that would be like me doing the 4 minus this -2, and then the x2 minus the x1, which would be like subtracting these x values. So to make sure that I don't make a mistake, I usually label my points. So I get x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I can sub those into the correct spots. So if I take a look here, equals, and I get y2 is 4 minus y1, which was -2, all over, and I get x2, which was -2, minus x1, which is 1. And I go and I solve this. That'll be 4 plus 2, all over -3. That will give me 6 divided by -3, which equals -2. The exact same answer I got when I did it with the graph over here. So again, label your points, sub them into the formula, and it saves you from having to do the graph each time.